In this problem, we are to add integers, and I'll be using the chip model to show how this is done. My first example is to add the numbers 7 and 4, making the first addend the number 7, the second addend the number 4, and we'll be finding the sum over here. Because the 7 is positive, using the chip model, I would write down the equivalent of 7 positive chips by writing 7 plus symbols. Once you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positive chips representing the number 7, we do this again with the number 4. It being positive would give us 4 positive chips. Now to find their sum, I simply copied the 7 positive chips and the 4 positive chips in this area. Once you've copied down the 7 positive chips and the 4 positive chips, since everything has the same sign, none of the signs cancel, so it's simply a matter of counting up how many positive chips you'd have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 positive chips. So 7 added to 4 gives us a sum of 11. So 7 plus 4 is equal to 11. In this example, we are now to add negative 7 to a positive 4. So I'm adding this integer to this integer, making my first addend negative 7 and my second addend 4. Because the 7 is negative, I would represent in the chip model by writing 7 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 4 is positive, so I would write 4 positive chips by writing down 4 plus symbols. The sum would have you copying the 7 negatives and the 4 positives in this area. Once you've done that, you might notice that I like to line the negative and positive chips up because a negative chip and a positive chip cancels, and this is because the number -1 and the number +1 sum to 0, so there'd be nothing left. So I'm going to circle any negative and positive chips, indicating that they cancel. I do this until all the rest of the chips have the same sign. Notice I have 1, 2, 3 negatives left. That means that the sum is -3. This means that -7 added to 4 is equal to -3. Now I'm going to add the integer 7, and I'm going to add the integer -4. So my first addend is 7, and my second addend would be -4. Because the 7 is positive, you would write down 7 positive chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I need to write down 4 negative chips, so I write 4 negatives. To find the sum, I'll copy the 7 positives and the 4 negatives down here. Again, I like to line up the positive and negative chips so that I can circle them, indicating that they will cancel, or if you want, you could think of it as they sum to 0, and adding 0 does not change the sum. What I have left is 1, 2, 3 positive chips, so the sum is +3, making the sum of 7 and -4 equal to 3. The last example is that I'm adding the integer -7 to the integer -4. So my first addend I underlined here is -7. The second addend is -4. So I'm going to use the chip model, which has me writing down 7 negative chips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to indicate the number -7. Because the 4 is also negative, I must use negative chips here as well and make sure that you write down 4 of them. The sum would be copying the 7 negatives here and the 4 negatives here in the same area. Because all of the signs are the same, there's no cancellation that can be done, so I must simply add up how many negative chips I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 negative chips, so the sum must be -11. So if you were to add the integer negative 7 to the integer negative 4, you would get the sum of negative 11.